Evening all. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Spurs State of Play. Please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, not just to me, but to Cookie as well. This is a joint show. We've been talking for a little while, getting together and doing the show, just us two. And yeah, finally got a chance tonight to go ahead. Cookie, mate, how you doing, man?
I'm all good, Dan. Thanks very much, mate. Thanks for having me on. I'm going to enjoy it, actually. Be nice to have a good old chinwag, Dan. You know how it is. I've had a very peaceful day today up the allotment. Finally got the greenhouse up and running. So we're sorted, mate. Sorted. The missus is well happy. She's chuffed a bit. She's got her greenhouse now.
Mate, I saw the video. I saw it. It's looking good, man.
Yeah, man. It is looking good. It's a big change already from when we first went up there. So we just carry on bit at a time, mate. And yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it. It's nice. Just I don't take my phone with me or nothing, Dan. I leave it all here, and we just go up there for 2, 3, 4 hours and fresh air and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's what it is.
Nice one, man. Let's go to the chat. Say a few hellos. Let's see who's with us. Big up to Mark. How you doing, man? Big up, gentlemen.
Big up, Mark.
Hope you're good. And big up to Andrew as well. How are you, Andrew? Evening, Dan and Cookie. Thank you for being here. Big up to Zeb B7K. Get some guests on too. I want to just hear from me and Cookie tonight.
Sorry, Zeb. It's just me and Dan.
Yeah, just me and Cookie tonight.
Sorry, Zeb.
Yeah, there's plenty of panel shows to come. Hopefully,
every night of the week, near enough. Zeb. Every night.
Yeah, cheers for being here. Big up to Rob as well, man. Howdy, gents in chat. We're on the highway to Hull. Yeah, I like it. That's good. That's a good one, Rob. Very, very good. Look, I'm kind of multitasking tonight, so there might be times where I have to disappear. You know, it's called, yeah, I'm looking after the kids. So, one wakes up, I might have to pop away, but Cookie's going to run the show in my absence, but hopefully it'll be fine. But yeah, big up to everyone for being here. It's just, it's a state of Spurs, eh? The fucking state of Spurs, more like it, isn't it, Cookie? Right? It is really. It's it's dark times, and I haven't been on a live since the last game. And look, it took me a few days really to kind of get my head around things, calm down. It's been really tough, man, and the fan base, a lot of the fan base thinks we're getting relegated, and it's a real fear, isn't it, guys? It really is that we could. We're not playing at all well. I don't believe in the players or the manager, and then unless I see something different, I just think we're going down right now. I haven't seen Spurs put on a good performance for, can't even remember. Cookie, when's the last time Spurs actually played well, mate?
God, it's a long way back, isn't it? I mean, as you know, Dan, I don't go regular anymore. I've been once in 25 years, so that was the West Ham game, the other week, when the protests never really took off. Only about 150 people turned up. But, listen, it's just a mess at the moment. The whole thing's a mess, top to bottom. Whether you'd want to call it infighting, I don't know. I think there's some players that are not very happy at all for whatever reason with the club itself. Whether that's the reason for showing in performances or not, I don't know. We've been very, very poor, very, very poor. And 3 years of, 2.5 years of the results that we've been seeing tells you a story. Finishing 17th. I know we won the Europa. I'll repeat it again. Well done for that. But we finished 17th. And this year we're 17th now, I do believe. I could be wrong. We could still be 16th, but I don't know if anyone's seen the old predictor league.
What's it saying, Cookie?
The predictor league. Have you not seen it? Listen to this, right? So Spurs are currently on 29 points. They predict after 38 games that Spurs will be on 31. So we're only going to get 2 more points, they reckon. Super predictor thing, yeah? But Leeds, Forest, West Ham will all finish 11 points clear of us.
Well, there's no surprise, is there, Cookie? Because at the end of the day, we're not winning, are we? We haven't won a game since, late December?
No, confidence is shockingly low, unfortunately, Dan. Again, like I said into the chat, for whatever reason it is, whether there's been bust-ups within the squad, as far as the board are concerned, and players are not happy. Listen, we've been very poor, but I still don't believe a lot of these players, because they're internationals, Dan, at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? They're all internationals. And we can go into depth of squad and the injuries and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, when the games are there to play, the injuries don't matter. You've got what you've got, and you've got to get out on the pitch and sort it out. And we look like we're playing at 1 out of 10. We've just had 3 London derbies, conceded 9 goals, and in all 3 of them, didn't look like there was hardly any effort, if you like, if that's the word to use, whatsoever. So it's been very poor, and I'm like you, mate. We've got to wait to see something from these players. You know, it is what it is, mate. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And after that Palace game, mate, I know we've spoken, but do you think we are going down, mate?
Listen, anything can happen, Dan. But on what I'm seeing at the moment, yeah, yeah is the honest answer. Yeah, unless they're going to produce something, and we're going to see a bit more from them. And again, whether they've got it in them as a team to do that or not is a different matter. We were just so poor when we have been poor for ages, Dan. And again, those 3 defeats that we've just had with all London clubs, the Arsenal one, yeah, I get that. Do you know what I mean? They're just on a different stratosphere at Spurs. The Fulham one, I was really disappointed, to be honest. Really disappointed with that. And the Palace game, well, I think we sunk to new lows, mate. That's all I can say. It was awful, absolutely awful. And I was disgusted, mate, to be quite honest with you. I don't mind telling you. Absolutely disgusted with it. But it is what it is. We've got what we've got. And Atletico on Tuesday in the Champions League. Who in the chat cares about the Champions League at the moment? Let me ask you. With the predicament the club's in, as far as the Premier League's concerned.
You see Rob in the chat there. He says, "Big up to you, mate. 3 points from the last 10 games. Hard to see how we'll improve from that."
Yeah, agreed, Rob. I totally agree with that, Rob. It's Listen, we've got, like I say, we've got to see something, Rob, haven't we? At the end of the day, 3 points out of 30. I mean, no one can complain we are where we are, Rob, can they? Because we don't have to spit the facts, mate. You're spitting them in your message there, and it tells us a story. 3 points out of the last 30 available. I mean, wow, that is really, really shocking form. Really shocking form.
Well, what did you make of it, Cookie? The when you saw that lineup against Palace, no one had a clue what he was doing, what tactics he was playing, what formation, who was playing where. Yeah. When you saw it, mate, what did you think?
Listen, the first thing I did, to be honest with you, Dan, I'll tell you the first thing I did. I see the lineup, and I'll text Nige Pure Coys, and just text to him, "What is that?" And he said, "What is what?" I said, "That lineup." He said, "Oh, I haven't seen it yet." So I texted it to him. He said, "I don't know." He said, "I've got no idea what he's doing." So look, listen, Dan, me personally, again, this is just me, right? I think he's been dropped into the middle of Spurs, right? He had no idea about everything else that was going on within the club and how broken it is. Yeah, and he's dropped himself in. He's had a week's worth of training. He's, as far as he's concerned, they're not fit enough. They go out against Arsenal, lose 4-1. Yeah, train the following week. The Fulham game, rubbish again. For me, it was rubbish. There wasn't enough effort. And then you've had the Palace game in the week where a lot of people are saying, "Look, this is a must-win." Yeah, and you get people walking out half time, and on 60 minutes and whatever. So, mate, we've got so much to do. Listen, you had Zeb had a question further back, Dan. You don't have to click on it. I've got it here. He says he wants to see who everyone thinks should save us from relegation, as Tudor is not the guy. Absolutely agree with you, Zeb. He's not the guy. Unfortunately, like I say, he was dropped into it. Yeah, and I think he's ended up a couple of weeks later thinking, "Shit, I'm in trouble here." Yeah, because these players ain't doing it. And he probably knows why they're not doing it. He's probably been told. But he's still got to try and do his job to the best of his ability that he can. So, I'm not making excuses for him at all. Yeah, because it's what we've seen hasn't been good. But do you put that down to him, or do you put that down to the players? For me, yeah, it's the players. It's the players, and I think they've just not been good under Tudor. They weren't good under Frank. Yeah, we was awful in the Premier League. Won a European trophy. Yeah, and we are where we are now. And to me, Dan, it's no surprise, to be honest with you. This has been on a downhill trend for me since Poch. How they're buying these players, the standard of them. The standards are shit, mate, at this football club. As far as buying footballers are concerned, it's awful. Absolutely awful for me. And things have got to change. We've got to change, regardless of whether we go down, whether we stay up, whether ENIC are here, whether ENIC ain't here, Dan, something's got to change. Because if we somehow get out of this year, we're only going to be in it again next year. We're going to be in the same position next year, mate.
100%, man. So you thinking we're going down, right? Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, unless if we carry on from what I've seen for like a long time now, and it's only progressively been getting worse. Yeah, from what I'm seeing, if they carry on the way they're going, yeah, I don't think that super predictor will be far off, mate, because I can't see where we're picking the points up from, Dan.
Well, I can't see us winning a game right now. This is the thing, isn't it? Like the team is just shot. It's completely shot. It's we all probably thought a new manager coming in would give him a bit of a bounce, but unfortunately he hasn't. It's got worse. It's got worse, and it's looking like it's the wrong decision in hiring this guy. They should have gone with someone who knew the club, someone with Premier League experience. He's come in and he keeps changing the formation. It keeps changing the lineup. He's playing players out of position.
I think he's lost, Dan. Honestly,
I really know what he's trying to do.
It's just not to do with the football, because we all know that, right? He's been hired to do a job, right? For me, he's been hired to do a job, and he had 12 games, yeah, to effectively get us out of the relegation. They come out with a statement. My remit is, yeah, to get confidence back into this team and to get points to get us out of the position that we are and to go up the table. That was what they said, right? Unfortunately, I don't think, like I was saying when you was off camera, that Igor understood what was going on at Spurs, because we just talk about the stuff on the football pitch then generally, yeah, but we all know the club's broken all the way through. There's no football people on the board. Munn and Vinay are supposed to be the people in charge of football, and everyone's just going over their heads to make decisions on managers and money and this and transfers and that. Who's in charge at Spurs? I don't think none of us have really got any idea who's really in charge, apart from Joe on his boat. Yeah, too busy getting involved in who's playing for the club. So I've read. So that, you know what I mean. So and to me, when I see what's going on now, Dan, I just think of like, I almost think a lot of them. I don't know if it's the right word to use. I almost feel like they're a bit like mercenaries, mate. Do you know what I mean?
What,
I
the players?
Just think it's disgusting, Dan. I really do. Mate, if players are good enough or not, right? You've got the Spurs shirt on, yeah. Wear it with pride, yeah, and do your best, as in on the pitch, whether you're good enough or not. Do your bit, yeah. And there's too many of these players in this squad, fit or unfit, that ain't doing their bit. For
Doesn't
me,
look like they're trying hard enough, does it?
no, mate, it doesn't. It doesn't, unfortunately. And like you say, Dan, I don't know where we go from here. I mean, I've already said on our show that, and I'll repeat it for yours. I haven't got a problem with it. You know, I think that we've got to the stage now where we all know ENIC don't give a toss, right? As fans, we're sitting here and we're trying to work out who could come in to possibly get 9 points, 10 points, whatever, 2 or 3 wins. Just give us a chance, you know.
Cookie, what's your thoughts that they're keeping him, aren't they, for the next 3 games?
That's
what I heard.
I can't understand it, mate.
Why do you think that is?
Because they ain't got a clue. Is that a good enough answer? Mate, I don't know. I don't get it. Is it because is it deeper than what we think it is? You know, look, Dan, we know they don't give a toss about the football, right? They're full of we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Yeah, we've got this, we've got that. We're doing this in January. We're doing this and so much and so forth and everything else, and then it barely comes to fruition. We haven't had a left winger since Sonny went. Right, you'll have one if you go back to the Championship because Mikey Moore will come back and he'll be your left winger. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a big issue for me going down because I don't think that we would jump straight back up again, Dan, because I don't think we'd have the experience in the team. If you think about we go down, who goes? Everyone, right? Anyone who's worth anything apart from youngsters, right, will be gone. They might keep Solanke. They might do because he should thrive in the Championship, right? But you'd have all your loans coming back that you sent out. Anyone that's worth anything will be gone, and the mainstay of your team will be Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Odibert, those type of players. That they'll be your sort of senior players as such in the Championship, yeah. And they might bring they're going to have to bring a couple of Championship-wise players in if that happened, because it's just a different league, Dan. They say the Championship's the hardest one in the world to get out of, you know, and we've got to be ready. And if it's this board that's in charge when we go down, yeah, then we're knackered. We ain't coming back up, mate, straight away. I'll tell you that now.
No, I agree, mate. And look, I've been thinking the last couple of days, and look, I know this is a possibility, but I'm still looking at the immediate future, right? I'm still looking at the games that are coming up, the Champions League matches, the Liverpool match, and then that massive 6-pointer against Forest. And for me, I want to see on Tuesday these players and the manager start picking a team that he's going to stick with until the end of the season. Stick with the same formation, right? And I want to see these players And I know fans will say, well, if they turn up in the Champions League on Tuesday, what a disgrace. I get that. But we need to start seeing performances that we're not relegated yet, right?
No.
There's games to play, there's points to win. So I'm looking very closely at what the manager's doing and what these players are doing. I got to, right? Otherwise, what we doing here? We might as well just not watch and just, say, oh, we're going down and that's it. So I've got to look at something as a fan, as a supporter. I need to look at what I'm going to watch, what I'm going to see, how's it going to play out against Atletico Madrid, and then away to Liverpool, and then again at home to Atletico Madrid. And I want to see these players work, start playing, start fighting for the shirt.
Yeah,
I do. Obviously, I don't expect they will because they haven't done it, for all season really. But it's got to come to a point where we see something change, and unless are these players, are they just completely given up? They accepted relegation. I don't know. Like if that's the case, and we do not see any response between now and the end of the season, they all got to be sold anyway, mate. To be honest, because that's just a disgrace. Playing for Spurs, the amount of money they get paid, and they're not even going to turn up and try and fight to get the Spurs to stay in the league. So that's I'm kind of looking at it, Cookie. What do you reckon, mate? I want to got a super chat actually, Cookie. Just to do the super chat next. A user. We're finished unless others completely crumble. Look, I get that. Possibly, yeah. Relying on other teams. Look, quite possibly.
Big up a user. It's so difficult, Dan, to try and work out where the points are coming from. We've got big games at home to come against teams that are down there as such. Your Leeds and your Nottingham Forest coming up. I think we've got Everton last game of the season. We've got to get the points from somewhere. And you say, well, if you look at the away fixtures, I know there's Villa away, Chelsea away, just off the top of my head. Another difficult away day, Sunderland away. So you'd say, listen, we've got to get points at home, right? But we've won twice this season. I've never known anything like it, Dan, in my
since you've been supporting Spurs, Cookie, all those years, you're obviously
listen. It was bad. It was bad in '77. I was only a kid, Dan.
Yeah.
Right, but as I got a bit older, I looked into it a bit more and tried to understand what went on at Spurs then. And listen, there was stuff back. It was nothing like this, mate. One thing I can guarantee you: those players sweat everything they had until that final whistle went in '77 of that final game. Yeah, I'm looking at this lot. Yeah, your captain, what's he doing? Right, to start off with. Then you've got Van der Ven, he gets the armband. What's he doing? And I just don't understand it, Dan. I don't get what we're doing. It can't just be confidence, can it? It can't be. Listen, if you took all those players individually, or the majority of them, you'd go, yep, decent player. Yep, he's okay. We've seen he's okay. Individually, yeah? We've got internationals everywhere, right? Admittedly, we've not got certain players in certain positions at the moment because the squad depth's not deep enough, right? But, Xavi Simons, he's done virtually nothing for Tottenham, for me. He picked up a little bit. We started seeing him run with the ball and doing a few more dangerous things. But again, he's getting into his advanced 10 position, running with the ball. And you look on the screen and there's no one near him. And he's running into trouble. Then he's getting moaned at for losing the ball. What's he supposed to do? There's no one there. Just as one example, Dan. Just one example. But we are, going back to Zeb again, we're on relegation form. Big up to Roy, by the way. Hope you're well, Roy.
Big up to a user, by the way, for the super chat. Thank you very much.
Big up a user. It's just really hard at the moment. And we keep saying it, Dan. We've got to see something from them, mate. You know, we've got to see something because we're not seeing anything.
What's your mindset though, Cookie? Because I know we're all fucking devastated and we're all depressed and we all think we're going down. How do you get up? You know, when because you're doing shows a lot at the moment. How are you what's your mindset? Are you just giving up, or you got any hope? Or
No, I haven't given up. I'll never give up. Never give up, because you know it's your club at the end of the day, Dan. You can't give up. You know, we sit here on YouTube, and we can sit here now, right? And I guarantee you, the majority of the people in the chat will say the players ain't good enough. Don't matter what managers you put there, the players ain't good enough, right? As a team, as a collective, I'm talking about. Individually, yes. Yeah, there's players there with talent, but they're not putting it together for whatever reason as a team on the football pitch, Dan. And it's a fucking disgrace, mate. An absolute disgrace. I ain't never seen nothing like this, what I'm seeing now.
Neither have I, mate. Neither have I. It's mental. I don't know how it's got so bad. Obviously, you know, a lot of the fan base just think the players are not good enough. They don't care. Obviously, there's certain people think the managers haven't been good enough.
Yeah.
But there's a deep issue coming this season, a massive issue which no one can explain. We are so awful. We are the worst performing team in the league. We're bottom of all the stat tables.
Yeah.
We haven't won a game since late December. We can't win a game. 2 wins at home. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life supporting Spurs. I know under Ozzy our dealers, we went on a bad run. We didn't win in 10 games. But I've never seen a team not. I don't know if they don't. It looks like they don't care. It looks like they got no belief. Nothing is going for them. You know, like that night, like we get the goal against Palace, right? And you're thinking, okay, all right, that's a good start.
Settle
Palace
down,
ain't
man.
been great,
Yeah.
man. Palace ain't been great. I think it's like 2 or 3. Now it's 3 wins in 13. You know, they lost 3 of their defenders, right? They lost Guehi in January. They lost what's that other player who got sent off?
Lacroix,
is it?
whatever his name
Lacroix,
is.
yeah. And then in the game they lost their wing back, right?
Yeah.
So they had 3 of their first team defenders out, and I don't know. It was a proper head loss from Van der Ven, wasn't it? And it was just not necessary. And even if that guy would have gone on and scored, it would have been 1-1. And at least would have had 11 men against 11.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Van der Ven, he's the captain, and we all think he's a good player. But to make that crucial error in that moment, knowing the importance of this game, I'm dumbfounded. And then I'm just thinking everything is not going our way at all, is it, Cookie?
No.
Nothing is going our way. Even when we take the lead, you're thinking, all right, and we ain't played well. I didn't think we were playing well against Palace. I think Palace had control of the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
They looked the more comfortable side in possession. And we had that warning sign with the goal, which was offside. By his nose, weren't it? So nothing is going for us, Cookie. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So we lose Van der Ven. Romero's back in the next game. I don't know what we're doing here, honestly. And it's a matter of fact, it's just waiting to see what happens in the next game to see if there's any uplift in performance. Liverpool, you know, when we look at Liverpool away, and Liverpool have been a bit shaky at times throughout the season, but I have no confidence we'll go there and do anything. Cookie, what do you reckon, mate?
We don't traditionally do well at Liverpool, Dan. When was the last time we won there? God, no, it's a long time ago now. I'm trying to think. It don't matter anyway. It was a while ago.
It was under Redknapp, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2-0.
Yeah. And look, listen, it's not an happy hunting ground for us. Again, a bit like the Arsenal game, really. I don't think anyone expects anything from it except the passion and the effort and all that, Dan, all what we keep saying every week. And until we see it, you know, every game that goes past is another 3 points or another point that you're not collecting. And Dan, I said, God, I hate to keep repeating myself. I said it on our show in December. In December, Dan, if Spurs carry on like this, we're going to be in trouble, right? It's not an "I told you so." It's got nothing to do with that, right? I could see what was going on, Dan, and it's so painful. It's so painful. It's just, it guts me, mate, to watch this, because the feeling I get is we are going down. You know, as much as I have been trying not to say it, yeah, like, for argument's sake, get a Redknapp in, whatever, get some Tottenham people while they've still got half a chance. Why we're not 3 or 4 points behind and trying to catch up. You know, whether people agree with that or not, it's just an opinion. My opinion on that is that he's a Tottenham man. Yeah, if anyone can get anything out of him, I would say it would be him. People would go.
Sorry, Cookie, and this is it, mate. Before we go back to you, is, you know, if he does lose the next game, is there enough time to hire another manager? You know, with like, how many games left now, Cookie? 10?
8.
How many Premier League games left?
8.
Is that it? 8 or
9?
9?
8 or 9. 8 or 9. It might be 9.
Yeah.
We played 3 since Arsenal, Fulham, Crystal Palace. So we had 12 left at Arsenal. 12, 11, 10. 9 games left, 27 points.
9 games, yeah.
27 points.
You know, panic stations. Are they going to do it? Are they going to sack Tudor if we keep losing? We'll have to go, won't he? But who's going to accept the job? Redknapp came out, didn't he? And I know you want to talk about something about Redknapp, Cookie.
Yeah, it was just an old.
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, I don't mind, mate. It was just an old clip that was not an old clip. It was in today's Sunday Telegraph about. I've just got to find it now. Where was it? I sent it to you. There we go, and then I can sort of click from it. Then here we go. I've got it. So yeah, it was a Sunday Times interview. Sorry, not a Telegraph. Sunday Times interview with Harry Redknapp. So basically, it was about Daniel Levy getting involved, and this is a while ago now, but I believe it's sort of happening now as well, in a bit of a different way, if that makes sense. Basically, it was about Rafa van der Vaart, and we bought him from Real Madrid for 8 million. Anyway, in this particular game, Rafa van der Vaart was playing as the 10, I suppose, and Robbie Keane was being picked to play up front by Harry Redknapp. So he got a phone call from Mr. Levy on the Friday and said, and apparently he never rang on a Friday. And he said to him, what's your team for tomorrow? So he's told him, type of thing. He went, Robbie Keane? When you're playing Robbie Keane? He went, yeah, I'm playing Robbie Keane. So Mr. Levy weren't happy. He said, well, perhaps you should ask Rafa van der Vaart who he wants to play with. This is not me, by the way. This is in the Sunday Times. So anyway, the phone get put down, yeah. And later on that evening, as he's checking into the hotel, his phone rings again, and it's Joe Lewis. And Harry's never spoke to Joe Lewis in his life, and he's asked him the same questions. You know, what's your team? That front line you've got of Pavlyuchenko, Lennon, and whoever it was, can't remember. He said, well, I'm playing Robbie Keane up front. He said, well, Joe Lewis said to him, well, I'm not watching the effing game if you're playing Robbie Keane up front like that. He said, well, I'm playing him up front. And Joe Lewis said, well, you can F off and put the phone down. And the point of it is that Harry Redknapp, a very respected manager in the game, yeah, was trying to be told who plays in his team. I mean, it's ridiculous. This was years ago. We're talking, 16 years ago. So anyone that thinks that players can't assume control of a dressing room if they really want to, there's a bit of a story for you. There's a bit of a story for you for whatever you'd like to take from it. you know. So even back then, 16 years ago, the owner and Daniel Levy are trying to tell the manager who he puts in the team. Go and ask Rafa van der Vaart. He'll tell you who he wants to play with. Harry's like, no, I'll pick the team, mate. Oh, dear. I see that, Jessica. I see that. Where are you here? You're saying, and that was a good question you had earlier. Where was that? Here, oh, there it is here. Jessica, she's put, is it the manager picking the team, right? Not the board or DOF?
What time is that comment?
9:08. 9:08, just above Nigel's comment.
Okay, let's.
And Nigel's right as well, because his comment that's just underneath at 9:08 as well. It's been in the making for a few years, and it's true. It has been. For me, I'll be blunt. I hate ENIC. I think everyone knows I hate ENIC, and I was even prepared to give them those 2 transfer windows after Levy went. Yeah, nothing changed. Nothing changed at all. If anything, it got worse. And these divs upstairs that think they're running some, I don't know, whatever they think they're running. I don't want to swear too much, Dan, but it ain't a football club. That's a dead cert, because none of them have got a Scooby-Doo about football, apart from the fella that's coming from Man City, the Mawson fella. Yeah, he knows a bit about football, So what are we doing? We're as a football club, we're trusting Lang to get the players, yeah, even though we all know he's a shower of shit. Yeah, and now they're talking about dual DOFs, which only ever means infighting, because they'll never agree on anything. They'll never agree.
Look, everything's unknown, innit, Cookie? And a brilliant story about Redknapp, by the way. I was listening when I just had to pop away. Brilliant story. What is it like to have a manager like him? Yeah. Sorry, Cookie, go for it.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm saying it just shows you, all those years ago, and they were trying to tell him who was going to be playing.
It's mental. It's mental, isn't it? It is crazy. So what is going on?
Maybe that tells you a lot about Mourinho when he went 6 days before the cup final, because he was told then that he had to pick a different team for the midweek game, if you remember rightly.
Yeah. Look, big up to everyone in the chat. Smash the likes. Big up Nige. Big up Jessica. Everyone. The Bowling Lounge. Who else is in here today? I just want to make sure I've covered everybody. Rob. Big up Rob. Andrew. Humpty Dumpty sat on the walls here as well. Evening to you all. Guys, if you not subscribed to Cookie, his link's pinned at the top of the chat. He's on the road to 1K. He's about 35 away. So yeah, just go over and give him a sub, man. He's almost there now. So yeah, I'm sure you'll appreciate that.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, get over there and subscribe. We're on every day, so sometimes twice a day. And now and again, you get to see the sheriff as well. Now he's at work. He just pops on now and again. Hello, goodbye. Big up to the sheriff.
Big up to the sheriff. Look, guys, so, there's so much to think about, Cookie, isn't there, right? What's going to happen this summer? What's going on with the director of football? Is Vinay going to keep his job? I'll be getting relegated. Yeah. It's just madness, isn't it? I got to try and focus on the here and now. And so let's talk a little bit about the Atletico Madrid game on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And look, it's a game that we don't need, isn't it, really, right now?
Yeah,
but
agreed.
As the team is performing so poorly, and that they need this. If this manager's got anything about him, he's had 3 games, he's learnt a lot. Let's try. We can just slate him, Cookie, if we want. Everybody, we can just slate him. We can put him down. We can say he's rubbish. We can say he gets sacked. But let's just try and look at it from a different point of view, right?
Yeah,
he's seen the team now. 3 games, completely outplayed against Arsenal. What was the second one again, Cookie?
Fulham away.
Fulham away, completely outplayed.
Palace.
No response. And then Palace, we get a man sent off and we'll never know, really. But
no.
So look, he went in hard, didn't he, with the players, very critical. Then he kind of changed his tune a bit. Started trying to say he's seen signs now in that Palace game. He's mental with it. He saw
Madness.
signs. So what
signs,
signs, Cookie? Was it? What were the signs?
He saw the signs of how bad we really are. Yeah. And he probably give his missus a ring that night and said, look, sweetheart, 12 games, £1 million, or I can walk away now. She's gone, you just stay where you are, sweetheart, and keep smiling. Do you know what I mean? Until they say, sorry, mate, we don't need you no more.
I don't know what's going on here. And Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. I mean, it's a tough game, isn't it? It's a real tough game. They're going to come after us. They've got some good players. I'm not even sure how they're getting on in Spain, mate. To be honest, they ain't even looked. I haven't, interest in the Champions League.
I haven't looked. All I know is I had a little treble yesterday, and Atletico Madrid were in it, and they scored in the last minute for a tasty little oneer for £20. So I'm having some of that, and thank you very much, Atletico Madrid, for that. I appreciate it, by the way. But very good side, Dan. They're going to cause us no end of trouble. And plus, they know how to defend. Simeone, loves it there, doesn't he? Absolutely loves it there. He's had them winning trophies and all sorts. Look, it's going to be hard, Dan. I think you've got to the point now where you've got out of that group, stage. The mentality changes now because it's knockout, and listen, the way we're playing, mate, we're on for a thumping. I'm sorry to say, unless something changes very quickly. It's going to be very difficult.
They're not doing too bad. They're third in their league.
Yeah.
They're not in the title race at all. Only 5 defeats in the league, 16 wins. I mean, I have heard that they're not the best this season. There's been better versions of this team under that manager. But we're so vulnerable, Cookie. We really are. We're so vulnerable right now. The team's got no confidence. We've got a manager who doesn't really know what he's doing. What's he going to do? Is he going to rest players? There was a rumor I heard that he's going to rest players for the Liverpool game. Did you hear that, mate?
No. Where did you get that one from, Dan?
I saw something. I don't know how much truth there is in it. But yeah, he's not going strong. He's going to be resting players for the Liverpool game. So, we'll see. We'll see when we see that lineup on Tuesday.
Does that mean he plays a few youngsters?
Well, he's going to have to, is it? Because there's not much options available, is it? I just, when he dropped Xavi, man, this really gets to me, right? And I know Xavi hasn't been the best all season, and he's been up hit and miss, but we have seen that he has got ability. And to just drop him against Palace, does that tell you that he's just not? He hasn't got the work ethic? Does that tell you that he's not? He's bought into what the manager wants? What does that tell you, Cookie?
Look, they'll want Xavi he's a number 10 for me. He's not a left winger by any stretch. I know that he played for Leipzig, cutting in off the left, but we're not playing like Leipzig at the end of the day. But Xavi, look, it's difficult when you haven't got the players around you and you're not connecting, Dan. You know what I mean? We saw it, just to change tack a bit, we saw it with Kudos earlier in the year. They used Kudos as an outball. Yeah, there weren't enough quality around him. And so all that players were doing they was 2 and 3 teaming up against him, So whether he's big enough, whether he's physical enough, at least on occasion we've seen him, tracking back and winning the ball back when he's lost it at times. I just don't think we've got the quality up front that helps him out at all, Dan. We don't have movement when we're going forward, and we don't have enough players in the forward line as such, because it's almost like we're counter-attacking all the time, mate.
Everyone was saying about Tell, innit? Give Tell a chance. Give Tell a chance.
Yeah.
And then he plays, didn't really show much. But again, we went down to 10 men, didn't we? So it's going to affect the team. But I don't know, honestly. It's desperate stuff, mate. I just think this game is something we just want to get over with, right? Come out of it. Hopefully, we're not with too bad a beating. Is there any part of you, mate, that wants to stay in the competition?
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. Look, for me, it's all about staying up in the Premier League. Big up, Swifty. It's all about staying up in the Premier League for me, mate. And you know, whatever they do in the Champions League, they do. You know, I can't never see them winning it. To be quite honest with you, I'm more fearful we get spanked up, mate, and then go to Liverpool and get spanked up again if he's gonna, you know, play a weakened team at Liverpool. Can we afford to play any weakened team at the moment, mate? I don't know. You know, it's like we said earlier on. You know, if you ask most people, probably 95 of them would say, well, Liverpool will get 3 points against Spurs, right? But you'll get the odd one or two that won't and may say we'll nick a point or whatever else. I learned my lesson from the Arsenal game the other week. I gave them a chance, Dan. And until I see it, yeah, and especially against teams like Liverpool, who are a damn sight better than we are at the moment, even though they've dropped off a little bit. Until I see it, I won't believe it, mate. It's as simple as that. It's just where I am with it, man.
So you want us to go out at Champions League as soon as possible.
Well,
yeah, just fully focus
just concentrate on the league. Yeah,
yeah. We don't need that. We don't need it, but we're in it, aren't we? And these players seem to enjoy playing in the Champions League, don't they? It's crazy. Yeah. Finishing what, fourth, wasn't it, in the league phase?
In the group stage,
yeah. Not played bad in it. There's some iffy games, but I just don't know really. Honestly, this team's confidence is so bad, and if they do put in a performance on Tuesday, I've got to question them. Honestly, I've really got to question them. What are they doing? Why are they playing like that in Europe and not like that in the Premier League? So they can't really win either way, Cookie, can they? You know, they lose, they'll be told they're shit, and if they win, they'll be told, well, why are you winning in the league? So there's not really a win-win scenario, mate. Really, is there?
Well, no, there's not. And the thing was, when you saw the group games, one thing I noticed was in the group games in the Champions League, especially, I noticed it quite a lot in the Borussia Dortmund game. Considering our home record's so bad, do you know what I mean? And we can't win at home. I just thought that in the Champions League games, we get a bit more time on the ball. It's not so much bang and someone's on you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I think will happen now that was the league phase, and now you're in the knockout. Yeah, you're going to get there. So it's just it may not necessarily be like the Premier League, as physical, but you're up against proper players at the end of the day, doing what I would call well in their league, third in the league. You know, probably behind who? Barca and Real Madrid, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is it someone like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, they're a decent side, and we're away to them on Tuesday, and we'll watch it and we'll see how we go, mate. And that's just where we are, Dan, isn't it? You can't predict anything except probably a loss. That's it. Sorry to be so negative, mate.
No Spurs fans expecting anything on Tuesday. Just more of the same, isn't it, really? It's really difficult, man, isn't it? Because, you know, you want to back the team, of course. We don't want to be in this competition anymore. But we got a game. It's a big game, isn't it? Like last 16 with the Champions League. It's so sad, right, guys? Like, we should be excited for this game. You know, if we were doing a hell of a lot better in the league, even if we were just like mid-table, not having the best season, at least we're kind of stable. You know, we've got Premier League football next season, and, you know, all eyes go on the Champions League for us. But because we're in this relegation battle, and we're just so shit, this Champions League game, I just going into it with no excitement at all, no hope, don't know what to expect other than really another poor performance. And another defeat for the lads. It's not going to do their confidence any good. It's really difficult. I don't know how Tudor's going to approach this one. Kind of how he's going to motivate the players. Is he going to tell them? Is he going to play a weakened lineup? Is he going to tell them don't go crazy, save your energy for the game against Liverpool? I don't know. This manager, I don't know, Cookie. Honestly, I really don't. I've been really disappointed in him. But, you know, a lot of the fans will say, well, the players are shit, so no manager, like Scott said earlier, no manager can come in and save this lot now. And I can't really defend these players anymore, man. I can't defend them. I'm not going to say they're shit like a lot of the fans do. They're not shit, but they're just not being good enough. And it's a collective, it's a team game, isn't it? As a collective, they're not being good enough. Individually, they ain't been good enough. And, you know, if they do go down, man, I don't even want to keep them, honestly. We just rip it up, start again.
Yeah.
You know, keep some of the younger players, start putting in some of the academy players, and then actually sign players who want to play for the badge. Because if we get relegated with this group of players, a lot of them are internationals. That just shows you that these players do not care enough. They do not care enough, because I know people say they're shit. Yeah, but some of these players, we finished, fifth a couple of seasons ago. You know, it's mental. The drop off from them. And I know people will say, well, we had Sun then. We didn't have European football then. But the drop off this season and last season as well is a lot of evidence pointing towards the players. And I can't be bothered to argue anymore in the fan base. You know, the players ain't been good enough. The managers haven't been good enough. The board ain't been good enough. And the whole thing is just a shambles. And if we go down, we go down. I don't want us to go down, but, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? And ENIC deserve it, right? It's their fault. It's their fault. It's ENIC who have let the fans down. And you know, you're getting in Vinay, an ex-Arsenal chairman, you know, Lange, who did rubbish at Villa. You know, nothing makes sense anymore. And we hear all the time that there's no Tottenham people left in the club, right? The last guy there was David Pleat, right?
Yeah.
And it just nothing makes sense. And that's why, you know, if you're ENIC out, and me and you have been ENIC out for a long time, Cookie, this is why we just do not believe anything will ever change under ENIC. And the evidence is there. It's staring us in the face. If things were so bad under Frank, right, when they were, why didn't they sack him sooner? Why did they wait? There's so many chances they could have sacked him. Those London derbies were terrible, right, before Christmas. Then there was the Fulham defeat, yeah? And then there was the Nottingham Forest away, 3-0. Still not sacked. And then West Ham, we lost at home, and he still wasn't sacked.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that tell you? It just tells you that these people who are running the club don't have a clue. They're so incompetent. They now left us in a relegation fight. January, failing to sign anyone other than Conor Gallagher, a player we didn't need, that profile player. We needed a passer. We needed somebody technical in midfield.
Yeah.
And then signing a young Brazilian left back. What we got? And that's it. That's enough evidence there to show you that the club don't care, and they're just incompetent to, you know, see there's an issue at the club this season and come in and fix it and give us a chance. But they've left everything too late, and they failed. And the consequences now could be relegation, mate.
And you said about Thomas Frank there, Dan. Yeah. You know, got rid of him too late. Look, the obvious thing was for him to go, just before Christmas. They get someone else in. Yeah. Then, you know, few players, they don't want to do the few players, Dan. They don't want to do it. They're not interested, mate. Listen, like you said, they've got Conor Gallagher in now. Look, for me, Conor Gallagher has been being played out of position. He's not being played correctly. You are right. We needed a ball-playing number 8 to come in, and link up with Xavi and whatever else. They got Conor Gallagher, which I don't think is a bad signing, personally, but they've done it the wrong way round. Cheers, Berlin. They've done it the wrong way round. You know, go and get the 8 and get Gallagher in the same window. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? But they just haven't done it, Dan, and I don't understand it, mate. It's just total negligence, like you said, Dan. I call it sabotage, mate. I call it sabotage. Them up there, they don't give a toss, mate. And I've also said on our channel, and I'll say it on your channel, give it 10 to 15 years, mate. I don't think Spurs will even be playing football in there. I don't.
We spoke about this, didn't we, the other day?
Yeah, not unless there's new owners. Not unless, if ENIC is still here, I really think they'll phase football out of there and it will become an NFL ground. with concerts and boxing and whatever else.
Mate, I don't know what to say anymore, man. Honestly, it's so depressing. It's so depressing, isn't it? You know, we've got to try and G ourselves up to talk about the club, you know, for the rest of the season. We've got to get behind the boys, even though we have no hope. We're all we're talking about, mate, is just negativity, but it's reality. It's reality, isn't it? We can't excuse it. We can't lie. We can't pretend to be positive. The reality is we are a terrible football team, and we've got terrible owners, and we've got terrible people at CEO and DOF.
Yeah.
And we got a, you know, a
and
bang average manager and the squad, you know, they're looking crap too, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the whole thing, we're 1 point from the relegation zone. And the team can't win. There's no fight, there's no pride, no belief. Looks like they don't care. I mean, where are we going here, Cookie? Like, you know, I tried to approach the chat earlier in this stream in a different angle, but if you notice, and it's not your fault, mate, and everybody in the chat, everything just goes completely like a slider, you know, completely back negative.
Sorry,
and then
mate.
I just feel, no, it's not your fault, mate. It's reality, you know, because I feel the same. I'm just trying to get the conversation a bit different, trying to look at it from different angles, because otherwise, it's just draining. Yeah, this season has been the worst, and the banter, mate. The banter.
Well, the banter
is out of this world, and you know, and I did a video yesterday about, you know, trying to encourage fans to get down to the protest, challenge the board, and if you love the club, you know, this is getting out of control. You know, the banter we get, it's gone beyond banter, mate, and it really has. That stuff what happened on TalkSport the other night was just humiliating, wasn't it? And I know a lot of people found it funny, and I didn't find it funny. I just looked at that and I thought, what the fuck is going on here? We've got Cundy wearing an Ange mask, right? And a clown hat. And I mean, I couldn't cope with it. Walked out, didn't he, mate? I think he stormed out in the end.
Maybe.
Because the conversation wasn't serious. The conversation wasn't serious. Cundy was on a wind up. I think he was like saying, yeah, give Tudor another contract. He's all right. He is Tudor. He's all right. It was just a complete. And you see the press, and they're like, and people involved in TalkSport, legendary stuff. Oh, what great performance from Cundy. He deserves this. He deserves that. Yeah, it was too much, man. And I know I like the banter. Don't get me wrong, but when our club is this serious a threat of relegation, it's and you see the fans, Cookie. You see the fans at the stadium in Palace. You know, the camera kept on looking at the fans and their faces. And it's sad, man. And I don't know who said it, but you know, football means a lot to people, right? You know,
of course it does.
You know, if you've got a tough life, or you're stressful and you're busy or whatever, your football is your escape, right? You look forward to going and watching your team.
Yeah.
And this football this season, and the results and the performances, you know, and if you've got a shit life, imagine that you've got double shit, haven't you? And it's not on. It's not on, is it? Cookie, what do you reckon, mate?
It's not on, mate. It's not good for like some people, like in my chat this morning. It was like, I'm going to turn off for a bit because Spurs are doing my head in, and I can't cope with the YouTube shows. And they wasn't having a dig at the channel, because they know the channel's about reality, right? But because out there generally it's so negative, Dan. Yeah, but and listen, at the end of the day,
who said this, mate? Who said this? Sorry,
it was just one of the chatters this morning in the chat. Just come in and said, "I just can't cope with it. It doesn't matter where you go, what you do, It's just all negativity. No one can see any positives." Well, can you give me a positive at the moment, Dan?
Can I?
Yeah.
No, I can't. The only positive I can give you,
because there's not any. So you can only talk about what's happening. You can talk about, I don't know, So
look,
I try
Kudos
to
coming back in April, Cookie, for example. Kudos coming back in April.
Yeah,
you know,
Kudos coming back in April. Obviously, you've got Romero coming back from his red cards. I don't know what's happening with Maddison, Kulusevski, whether they're going to play again this season. If they are, they're not going to be what I would call fit. You know, I've never known an injury crisis like it, mate. To be honest with you, to have 12 and 13 players out for a long spell of the season, Dan, is it's madness, isn't it, with the suspensions and everything else? Do you know what I mean?
And we were trying to blame that, weren't we, really? Or some people were saying that's, we're underperforming due to the injuries. And of course, it's going to impact any side. But there's been enough players there, even before the injuries, to play better. Now we can make selections of a team right there. We've got strikers, got three strikers to choose from. We've got midfielders. Yeah, we're a little bit short in the back, especially left back and centre back. But there's enough players there to put a team out there and put in a performance. I'm sorry, that as we've keep saying, they're international footballers. But we're told that these guys, they can't make 5-yard passes. How are they a footballer if they can't make 5-yard passes? Seriously,
it's beyond me, Dan. Listen, we've seen it all season from the majority of the players, if not all of them, at different varying stages. You know what I mean? You were saying about Van der Ven's red card the other night. Do you know what, Dan? I think it's just a lot of it. We know he's an half decent centre back. Big up, Phil. We know he's he's got a lot to learn still. Don't get me wrong. He's got a lot to learn, right, Mickey Van der Ven? But I thought about it and I'm like, do you know what? I just think it's frustration, mate. I think that he sees what's going on the field, and like for argument's sake, like when he does his runs out from the back, Dan. You know what I mean? Well, he's been doing it more and more, and a couple of times he's been caught on the ball, early doors, and you can tell it's frustration from him because, for whatever reason, they're not getting up the field as a unit. I said to you the other night, didn't I? They've got to move up the field another 10 yards at least. As a whole unit, we're too deep. We're way too deep. But Dan, it is what it is. It is what it is, mate. And Tudor's got to try and do something. I don't know what he's going to do. I've got no idea what he's going to do. Who knows? We don't even know what 11 he's going to put out and what positions he's going to put them in. You know what I mean? So he's got to go round peg round holes, and if he's got 9 of those and he's got 2 that he hasn't got, then you fill in. But at least put the players in their
right position.
What you would call their standard positions, Dan.
Do you think he's going to persist? I just want to go to Tiffany's comment in a minute. Do you think he's going to persist with this 3 at the back?
If I go by what I read, yeah, I do. Yeah, it seems to be his preferred thing to do. I don't think whether he's spoken to the players or not about it, whether that's part of the frustration. Who knows, mate? Who knows? He's played 3 games and 4 different formations, I think. So, he changed one of them at half time.
Look, I don't get this guy at all. Isn't giving me any belief. Nothing's got better. Nothing's improved. It's just got worse. Look, Tiffany, big up to you. Thank you for watching. How many of these lads do you think will stay if we get relegated? I mean, if they get relegated, I just want most of them cleared off, to be honest, because it just shows you they're not good enough. They're not good enough. We just got to rebuild, start again. Everything's got to be scrapped at all the levels. ENIC need to go. It's all sorts of talk, isn't it? They're looking at this guy and that guy. Talk that, Pochettino will still take the job if we're in the Championship. Dougie Freeman will take the job. It's just paper talk. There's no evidence or truth in any of this. We're going to have to deal with it come the summer, if that is the case, if we are relegated. Let's try and focus on this season. But Tiffany, I think, a lot of them will want out, won't they? They won't want to play in the Championship. They won't want to. And then what teams are going to buy these players who are just being dog shit for the last couple of seasons? They might not find it that easy. or they might go to clubs which are not that great. You know, they might be in the Premier League or they might be in the top division in another country, but they're not going to be the top end teams because no one's going to want to buy them. Well, isn't it, Cookie? To be honest, who's going to want to buy players who got Tottenham Hotspur relegated, first time out of the Premier League, first time to get relegated since what, 1974?
77, yeah,
77, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, 77. You know, Van der Ven and Romero are going to go. I think anyone that's worth anything. I think I said it earlier, Dan. Anyone that's worth anything, apart from maybe your Archie Grays and your Bergvalls and your Oddy Bears, maybe a Solanke will stay. You know, but again, like apparently Newcastle are after him. Paper talk again, but a lot of them will go. Pedro Porro, you know, I don't know what'll happen with Kozlowski and Maddison if they're fit enough to go elsewhere. Will they stay? Don't know. I don't know. Maybe Maddison will stay. Maybe. I don't know, because he was going down to the Championship with Leicester, wasn't he? You know, so maybe we'll see. Dan, I think most of them would be gone, mate, because, you know, it's...
I want them gone, to be honest, if they get us relegated.
Just clear them out.
Yeah, no, honestly, if they get relegated, clear them off. Clear out. Go. Just clear off, man, because that's a disgrace, getting our club relegated. Yeah, we'll just have to start again. And if we're in the Championship for a few seasons, so be it. You know, the club have got to sort their shit out. The ideal situations, they just sell it. You know, but you know they're not going to get the money that they wanted now. I don't know, man. I just have to kind of park that for now.
We just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, as I keep saying, and I keep going back to it. There's games to play. There's points to be won. I'm going to get behind the team, even though I don't rate him at the moment. Don't rate the manager. Got to support the team, man. You know, we still, as fans, we all have to support the team. Let's go to the chat, Cookie.
Yeah.
Any comments there you want to read out? Any questions? Big up to everyone in the chat. Please smash the like. Go and subscribe to Cookie. He's almost at 1K. Go and give him a sub, man. He's almost there now. He's been bloody working so hard, man. Cookie, I don't know how you do it, mate. I know you're retired and that, but still, mate, the amount of times you're going online every morning, in the evenings, mate, you're grafting.
I love it, man.
You love Spurs. You've got so many stories to tell.
Yeah.
You know, you've got that fight, you know, and I know, we've spoken. You're on here to get the message out, you know, ENIC out.
Of course.
Yeah, that is, you know, you love the club and love talking about him, but you know, your bigger message coming on to YouTube is, you know, you want these owners gone and you want Tottenham back, right? Like we all do. We want our Tottenham back, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. It's you know, and I don't mind. Listen, what I will say is that if you want ENIC out, you're going to have to protest about it, right? It may not force them out, but it may force them into some type of change if we get a big crowd to turn up to the Forest game. I don't know the score, Dan, with as far as, because I had trouble hearing Billy the other night when I was trying to listen to it. I don't know what it was, but is Forest the only one that's planned at the moment?
There's two. I think it's Brighton as well.
Right. So will it move on as the weeks go by? Then I take it, and then hopefully have one big one at the end of the season or something.
Well, at this stage, it's those two, isn't it? There's those two. Right. But again, you know, the thing is, you know, the team need our support, and we can still protest and support the team. You know, this is it, isn't it?
I agree.
I'm just really interested to see what sort of numbers are before that Forest game.
Yeah.
And I know there's pressure on change for Tottenham, you know, and you spoke about it yourself, Cookie, that, you know, they need to change the name to ENIC out, you know,
for me, it's the only message that can be sent now, Dan. You know, and like I've said many times, ENIC have backed themselves into the corner now. You know, they got to the point where they, like you said, where they got past the January transfer window and then sacked Frank. We all know why they did that. So they didn't have to spend so much in the transfer window. Got rid of Johnson, got Gallagher in and spent 13 million on Sousa. 13 million in the transfer window when you know you've got 12 injuries. Negligent, totally negligent. Bang out of order, as far as I'm concerned. And they shouldn't be letting that sort of stuff happen. You know, if they're a real, you know, if they're really about the football, and we know, I think we pretty much know they're not. You know, but if they've got anything about themselves, just sell the bloody thing. If you're not going to invest in it, sell it and let someone have it who may well invest in the football side of things. You know, and that's where I am with it. And it's just so difficult. And when you don't invest in your football club, yeah, this is the position that you get to now. And it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Let me see. Ellie's asking, do you feel we'll stay up because there's one other club worse than us down there with us? Ellie, if I'm being honest, are we playing better football than any of those teams at the moment? Are we fighting? And I know you know the answer to this. Are we fighting? Are we showing a bit of passion? And I'm not talking about the odd player. I'm talking about as a collective. When you're watching it, because I know you said you went to a game the other night and you was really, really upset at the end. Right? I'm sitting here commentating and I was really cheesed off. And no, Ellie, I don't at the moment. Honestly, to be quite honest.
Ellie.
You're okay, mate. To be honest with you, Ellie, I just don't think that Forest, West Ham, Leeds, no, they're not. They're not worse than us. I don't think they are worse than us. And this is the problem because we're not seeing it.
Cookie, the team is just completely shot, man, with confidence, belief, desire, knowing what they're doing when they come onto the football pitch. Obviously, the change of manager hasn't helped. You know, if we had a Redknapp come in, you know, there would have been a lift automatically. There would have been a lift. We would have seen a change. These players would have been released. I'm not saying we would win every game. We're still going to struggle, but there would have been a massive change in the whole atmosphere of the club, the players. And I think he would have, you know, more likely got us out of it. But it's gone now, isn't it? It's past. You know, the opportunity's gone. He's going to Cheltenham this week, isn't he? So, he's not.
Well, Oddle's done the same thing. Oddle's come out and said, look, I'll save Spurs from relegation. They were his words.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you want me, I'm here. Come and get me. And I've got no doubt Glenn Oddle, you know, he'll get people around the club that are Tottenham. If that was the case, whether he would be the man to do it or not, I'm as much in the know as you, mate. But at the end of the day, I think now with whatever it is, 8 games to go in the Premier League, give a manager a chance that knows what Tottenham are all about and see if you can do something. If it's not with all of them, find a bit of magic from somewhere. I don't know where it is. I don't know who's going to produce it. But someone's got to, because if they don't, and we don't get rolling a little bit, we're going to get left behind, mate. And we haven't got the fight in the team. If we're a game behind, if the roles are reversed, and we're a game behind a West Ham or a Nottingham Forest, I don't think we've got the minerals to get out of it, Dan. I really don't.
No, look at this stage. I said, and I've said it after the Palace game, I think we're going down until I see anything different, until I see any kind of improvement in performance or win. The evidence is there, man. It's there. We're going down right now.
Yeah.
But you know, there's something inside you that, you know, prays and hopes and that
Absolutely,
there is a change.
Yeah.
But when you look at the immediate fixtures, it's just looking more defeat. So it's going to be more negativity. It's going to be more head loss. There's going to be more anger. There's more frustration leading up to that Nottingham Forest home game, which is a 6-pointer.
Yeah.
And you win it, drag Nottingham Forest more down. And then suddenly there'll be a kind of new belief in the fan base that we can stay up, and this is how it could change. Yeah, but this only could, ifs, buts, and maybe, isn't it? This is the thing. There's no evidence that anything's going to change, even with returning players.
No, not at all.
So it's that thing, Cookie. And Ellie, big up to you. Do you feel we will stay up because of one other club worse? But the problem with that, Ellie, is that both Nottingham Forest and West Ham are picking up points. I've just got Stel just messaged me this table. I'm just going to read it. I can't bring it up, but he said it's just something to do with the form. He said Premier League form table, the last 10 games.
Yeah.
And we've got 3 points, minus 11 goal difference. Look, Forest are still down there as well, but they've got 10 points in the last 10 games. And West Ham are not even in that bottom. This is like positions 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Leeds got 10 points in the last 10 games. Palace 11 points in the last 10 games. Even Burnley have got more points than us. Wolves are not even in it. Wolves are well high in the form table in this one, and West Ham. So the evidence there, everything pointing towards, we're going down. I'm sorry. There's another question. Big up to Haz as well in the chat. Hope you're good, man. Solanke already linked with Newcastle. It's going to start, isn't it? All the rumours coming through.
Yeah,
good, man.
Yeah.
Scott as well, big up to you, mate, if I ain't said hello. And Vindaloo's in the chat as well, big up to you, mate. Did you see it at the start? No one saw. This is it, Vindaloo. Nobody saw. No, I can't remember one Spurs fan say that Spurs are going to be in a relegation battle this season.
No.
Not one. So
I had us as eighth this year.
Yeah, look, reasonable, man, isn't it? Sensible. We did finish 17th last season, and this is what I mean. What has gone wrong? And these players just suddenly gone. People will say, well, they were relegation level last season, but we signed players in the summer. We signed players supposed to be good players. Supposed to be first team players. Mwani's not been good enough. He's been very disappointing. Savvy, disappointing. Kudos started well, but kind of fell off. Got injured. Who's the other one? Paulinia had some good games, had some bad games. But, isn't it the thing, though, Cookie? When the whole team as a collective is playing badly, does that mean they're all shit players, or does that mean that they're poorly coached and poorly managed? And, and then my head starts going back to that argument. Frank couldn't get to grips with it. Tudor doesn't seem to have a clue. And, you can't argue the importance of having the right guy steering the ship. And what's happened over the season is that the confidence has dropped even more. The injuries have piled up. The belief has gone down and down and down. And we've got to we're just bottom now, isn't it? We've hit rock bottom. A combination of reasons. I don't know, Cookie, man. We've been talking all season why it's gone wrong and what the reasons. It's a combination of reasons, but a lot I can say, Cookie, is down to the manager. How important is it to you having a manager in managing a team, Cookie? Let's talk about that for a little bit.
Well, look, at the end of the day, he's employed to do a job, isn't he, the manager? And for me, they're professional footballers. They're men at the end of the day. But it's almost like being at school and having a teacher, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? As such, if you want to look at it that way. And for whatever reason, whether it was Thomas Frank being too pragmatic, or it was Ange Postecoglou going too far the other way, almost gung-ho. And now you've got this bloke, like I say, who's being dropped in the middle of it, Dan. And I don't think he's got the first idea of what to do, mate. It's just so bad there. Listen, it's been 2.5 years, isn't it, Dan? When you look after the first 10 games of Ange Postecoglou's reign, when we were top of the league, if you remember rightly.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been a gradual, steady decline with a Europa League chucked in between. And look,
and these players won the league. They won that Europa League, Cookie, innit? And I know the competition is not as good as the Champions League. I know the run wasn't the hardest, but they got themselves together and they won it. So are these players, are we saying a team that won the Europa League are this shit and now are a relegation team collectively? Are we saying that a team that's won a European competition, whatever you rate it or not, right? It's still a European competition, right?
Yeah.
And the players have gone from European champions to relegation fodder. Now, I'm sorry, but there's something missing there. Something missing there, Cookie. It doesn't add up.
Yeah, and that's what I said earlier, Dan, of some of these players being, promised like the fans, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this money's
But
here.
why did they give up, Cookie, though? I get that, and they might down tools, but why do they give up when, they're playing for a fantastic team, Spurs,
Yeah.
historic club, massive fan base. Look at the stadium, they turn up, whatever. Yeah, and they decide to not turn up at all. I don't buy it, Cookie, mate.
I can't, Dan. There's something going on within that we're not privy to, and I don't know what that is. Right? There's something going on, and for these players to be this bad, I can see them being bad, but we've been so used to them being bad as of late and previously as well. Yeah, that, like you say, I think it just saps it out of you, and because you're not even seeing the slightest thing, from some of these players, it just gets you down, Dan. And then people are saying to you, "What do you think the score's going to be this week?" And I'm giving 3-1 Palace.
You did.
Do you know what I mean? And what am I doing?
Mate, I got it wrong, mate. I got it wrong.
God's sake.
This is what it is, mate. You predict a defeat because that's what we've been doing. We're addicted to losing. This team is addicted to losing. So you made the right call, mate. I mean, for me, I got it totally wrong, man, with this manager. I thought all we needed was a manager who knew what he's doing to sort this lot out.
Yeah.
I thought Frank was that bad, but I got it wrong. I have to hold my hand up. I did. I have to hold my hand up. The situation is deeper. Right? It's deeper than any of us really realised it is. It's so bad. It is so bad. And that's why, and you spoke about, Cookie, the protests, so important that numbers get down there and speak out before the game in the ground. It's going to be interesting to see what level of people, how many people turn up for this one. We had a massive protest last season. Really, we should have another one this year, right? We're in a worse situation that we could actually get relegated. So interested to kind of really see what that fan base are thinking, right? Because we all know, the guys who are ENIC out, who go to the protests. They'll be there. But it's just the fan base in general where they finally going to kind of click on them that they have to do something about it. And it might not just be going to the protest because some people don't like protests. It might be kind of like selling their ticket, not renewing their season ticket, things like not spending money in the ground. There's a number of things, singing ENIC out. There's a number of things fans can do to get their voice heard, right, Cookie? So, are you going, mate, to that one?
Yeah, I'm going to the protest. I'm going to the Forest. Hopefully I'll get a ticket for the game and just sit there and watch, mate, as such, and see if anything's changed from the West Ham game when Thomas Frank was manager. I want to get behind them. I think, we can sit here castigating them. And, like you said earlier, tell everyone how crap they are. But at the end of the day, it's our football club, mate. And however bad you think they are, however much you hate the management, however much ENIC are driving you up the wall, they're our football club. And that's how I feel about it. And unfortunately for me, I'm an Enfield boy, and I've been following Tottenham for the best part of 53 years that I can remember. And I get, let me just say as well, I get the thing where people are going on about relegation and then it could be a reset for the club. I understand what they're saying about that, and to a point, I agree, right? But as I said, as a fan of 53 years, I'm going to struggle personally with Spurs if we go down, and I don't mean that in a detrimental way to Spurs. I mean, I will struggle with it. I'll get round it. I'll get my head round it, but I don't want us to go down, mate. As much as I want ENIC out as well, it's just not in me to want to go down. unfortunately, and that's just
No,
where.
we don't want to go down. It's a selfish thing, isn't it? We want to play in the Premier League. You want to see the best games. Yeah, we you know, I know we're a little bit deluded thinking that Spurs will ever get any better. We'll get back to how we were like under Poch, or even ended that season under Conte when we finished fourth,
Yeah,
under Mourinho when we reached the cup final. That seems so far away. But, you know, we won the Europa League last season, which, you know, won a trophy for God knows how long. So things can suddenly turn. But I think the negativity in the fan base right now, the anger towards ENIC, this disgraceful season and last season as well, league-wise, is just makes you kind of, that hope is just disappeared, hasn't it? It's gone. It's gone, Bookie, mate. The hope that Spurs are going to get back to challenging, or not even challenging for the league, but just kind of competing, playing good football, right? Yeah, winning games at home, challenging for European places, you know, winning in London derbies. The last couple of seasons, our London derby record is atrocious.
yeah,
We don't win London derbies, and we've gone so far away from even basic things like turning up in London derbies, winning home games. We've lost that last season as well. We've lost loads of home games. So it's really hard as a fan to kind of think, how is anything ever going to get better? Because the whole thing is negative. The whole thing is shit and depressing, and you're angry and frustrated. You don't know how to deal with this. You end up just going mad, yeah, and just get down. Cookie, mate, I don't really know what else to say tonight, and it's been a good old chat with you, mate. Honestly, big up to everyone in the chat. Please go and smash the like, subscribe if you're new, and also go over to Cookie's, nearly at 1K. Hopefully he'll get there as soon as possible. Go and give him a sub. Let me get his oh, I've got your link. It's pinned to the top, guys. You just go to the top of the chat. It's pinned there, mate. Yeah, go and give him a sub. Cookie, I'm tired, man. I've got to be honest. I'm tired with this club, but I have enjoyed our conversation today, mate. You know, we've had a good old chat. Got a lot out of our chest. Was there anything else, mate, you wanted to get off your chest before we shut down?
No, not really. I just waiting for, and it may be a long wait, but you never know. I'm just waiting for him to turn up, mate. I'm waiting to see a sign of something, and I just hope it's sooner rather than later. If there is no sign, we go down, mate. It's as simple as that. And like you say, you know, ENIC are either going to have to do something and invest in the team to get us back up, or we're going to be left languishing for a while, mate, before it happens again. So I really don't know, mate. I just pray for a performance to give everyone a lift or something, or a result at least to give everyone a lift.
And that's what realistic winnable game is in, what, just under 3 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. Forest at home.
Yeah, so we've
2 weeks time, isn't it? Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks today. Is it Sunday today? Yeah, 2 weeks today.
Yeah. So, you know, unless something happens in that Champions League
or the Liverpool game, which I doubt. But mate, listen, it is what it is, Dan. Spurs are what they are. We can only talk about what they are at the moment, unless we do a show of yesteryear or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, or we just pretend to be positive for sake of it.
And unfortunately, Dan, I'm not a pretender. I never have been, and I never will be.
Neither am I, mate. Neither am I. I ain't seen nothing online of anybody, even really positive Spurs fans, you know, on YouTube, online.
Struggling.
Even they are struggling to come up. Like, you know, you hear a lot that, you know, let's what's it called? Like, you know, let's sack Tudor, get someone else in. You know, people are looking at that. There's a lot of that at the moment in the fan base. Yeah, and that's a little bit of hope, because they think, yeah, that person can come in and save us. Tottenham person knows the club, knows what to do, will save us. And that's not completely gone yet, is it? Because there's still games, and that's still there's a small chance that could happen. And I think, like, if we lose the next 3 games, mate, I think he's got to go, right? He's got to go even before the Forest game, because that Forest game could be then a good game for a manager to come in and get the points. Is that right, Cookie?
Yeah,
right
I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. And we've got the international break coming up soon, shortly after the Forest game, I believe. I don't know if we've got another one after that. I know there's a 3-week break coming up anyway, international break. So perhaps they're looking at that as well, Dan. They may well be looking at that as well. And like you say, they'll change after the Atletico or even after the Liverpool game.
Cookie, if you think about this logically, right? Obviously, we're not expecting to get through Atletico Madrid in 2 legs.
No,
they're not expected to beat Liverpool, so they're just given to the.
Oh no, yeah, I agree on that point, but they ain't going to sack him yet, mate. They've come out and said he's their man. They've given him the dreaded vote of confidence. So let's see how he gets on against Atletico on Tuesday. See what surprises he's got in his lineup, and then we'll see if he's still here Wednesday morning, won't we? And if he is, he'll get the Liverpool game, and we'll see if he's still there Monday morning after that game. And it's out of our hands, mate, unfortunately. It's like you say, all you can do is get behind the team, whether you think they're doing it or not. And if you've got anger at a home game, aim it further up. ENIC out must be the only way now, that the chance when people are unhappy in the ground about what's being dished up, let them know up there. Let them know. 55,000 home fans, let them know. And if you can turn up to the protest at the Forest game and you've got an hour beforehand and you don't agree with how it's going with ENIC, get to the protest. If I can get there from Manchester, I'm sure a lot of you can from if you live local. So do your best to get there and let's get a good turnout for the first one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, get down there if you can. Because, it comes to that protest, to say if there are 3 defeats, 3 in-net performances, batterings, imagine the anger in the fan base leading up to that Forest game. And then it's the sort of thing the club will know that's coming and they'll make a change, won't they? Just to kind of push the protest down. You can see that happening as well, Cookie. You can imagine that the same Redknapp takes over for the final games. Then the protest it's going to die, isn't it? Honestly, there's not going to be enough people. They're going to be going into the stadium singing Harry Redknapp's name, and you could see that happening as well, mate.
Yeah, it puts a bit of fresh impetus into people down at the end of the day. But I still think if we're struggling,
we've still got to protest, mate. I still think we should still protest, but I just know this fan base.
Oh yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
They won't be going. They won't turn up to the protest. They'll be in that stadium early for the Harry Redknapp coming in or whoever.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. And listen, a lot of people said our fan base is feeble and weak when it comes to protesting. I think it's the only option available now. And like I say, even if it doesn't push them out, if you get 5,000 to 7,000 or whatever turn up for a protest, they'll hear us before the game. Don't worry about that. They'll hear us. So it's up to the people to turn up at the end of the day. We'll see who does.
Yeah, I think that's it, mate. I think we'll leave it there, man. You going live in the morning, mate?
Yes, mate. On the brunch in the morning, 9:30. So get over there if you're up and about, and we'll have a chit chat for an hour.
What's your plans, mate? What are you going to be talking about, mate, tomorrow morning?
Oh, just for the viewers. Just general Spurs chit chat, Dan. We'll talk about the Atletico Madrid game a little bit for Tuesday night, but we'll talk about that on tomorrow morning and on Tuesday, and then we'll just move on from there as the week goes on and towards Liverpool.
Fair enough. Yeah, everyone get over to Cookie in the morning.
Cheers, mate.
Give them a watch. Big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you for watching the show. Tough one to do again. Very tough one to do. Nothing positive to say at all. It's just talking over and over of how bad this team is, how we're going to get relegated. We've tried Cookie tonight, right? We've tried to look at it at different angles.
Yeah.
But it always ends in one.
Unfortunately,
one way really, that we're struggling here as Spurs fans to believe that anything's going to change. And that,
unfortunately,
you know,
yeah, mate. Look,
yeah.
it is what it is. We'll see where we go, won't we? Atletico Tuesday. See what Igor does, and then we'll move on from there. What can you do? What can you do?
See
mate?
what this team, see how they play, what Tudor does. If he's going to change
Yeah.
the team again, is he going to change the lineup? Is he going to play people out of position again? Is he going to go three at the back? We just don't know, is it? It's a guessing game, isn't it? That's a bit of a fun, isn't it? You
We
know,
have no
predicting the
idea.
lineup, predicting the formation.
I know.
Who
It'd
knows?
be murder, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll just pick the best players that are available, Dan, that go in round holes. Do you know what I mean? All this, you know, playing players way out of position, like Conor Gallagher. He ain't a right winger at the end of the day, and it's making him look a fool, you know. And he's not a bad player. He's just got to be played in the right position, Dad.
Who's that? Sorry,
Conor Gallagher. He's not shit, Dan. He's not crap by any stretch. He's been crap since he's been at Spurs, but he has showed, at Chelsea, at Atletico, that he can play football. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what happens. Let's just see what. Put round pegs in round holes, and let's go from there. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, that's the start, mate. That's a good one, isn't it? Let's see if he actually plays players in their right position, you know.
Yeah.
And we see that lineup, and it's the same against Liverpool and the same against Atletico Madrid as near as possible. Obviously, you may have to risk a couple, right? But yeah, that's what we got to look at on Tuesday night, mate. It's about performance now, isn't it? And seeing what this team have got left, if they've got anything left in them. Right now, don't look like they have anything left in them. But guys, anyway, Cookie, mate, thank you for joining us, mate, tonight.
Man.
Appreciated it.
Mate.
Enjoyed our chat.
Enjoyed it, man. Yeah, great stuff.
Big up to everyone in the chat as well. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new here. Just go and subscribe to Cookie. And we'll see what we're served up on Tuesday night. And I'm sure we'll be back to talk about it. Good night, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Hope you have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.